Alright, my name's David Reed, and I am doing a brief video just to see what people's reactions are on this, but I am honestly tired of seeing the same old crap over and over again for Commander. The idea for this is for me to start up a podcast and seeing who's interested in all of the different stuff that you can do, all of the cool interactions, all of the cool different builds you can do. And for a brief example, instead of 5-color dragons with Scion of the Dragon, I did 5-color legendaries. I do not have a single basic land in my entire deck. Now that is for multiplayer. I have a multiplayer, a French build, a artifact version, enchantment, instant sorcery, and I have just legendary creature interaction too, which I will go into a later video. I have also mono blue zombies, which I believe I have perfected the tribal mono blue zombies, and I say that cautiously because no one's really ever explored that territory. It is new, different, and totally not exactly zombie-like. It revolves around 3 things: the Stitchwings, madness, and discarding. You know, discarding stuff that you want to use in the graveyard. For example, Drown Your Temple, Wonder, and Startled Awake. Wonder, all your creatures have flying. If you have an island, if it's in the graveyard as well. Drown Your Temple, sack it, pitch it, whatever. As long as it's in your graveyard, you can pay 3 and put it right back on the field. In other words, land ramp or recover a land that, in case you need to sack a permanent due to something stupid like Possessed Portal. Startled Awake. If you don't know anything about this card, I can't really blame you. It fits into a very, very small category of decks. But the effect is you pay 5, you turn into a creature. Pretty amazing. Also, the sleeve split. I'll need to replace it. That sucks. That happens. Also, to prove my point, different interactions like Dreams of the Dead, Glamour Die, and Deadeye Navigator. A card that I normally don't like, but Deadeye Navigator really shines out in this. I apologize if you can't see too well because the lighting issue behind me. Dreams of the Dead says, take target white or black creature from a graveyard. You may put it directly into play as though it were just summoned. That creature now requires an additional cumulative upkeep of 2. If it leaves play, remove it from the game. More like put target white or black creature from the graveyard into play. And no matter, even if this leaves the field, the creature still has a cumulative upkeep. So in order to get around it, you need to bounce it with Deadeye Navigator. Deadeye Navigator exiles it, and when Dreams of the Dead tries to exile the creature, it cannot because it's already exiled. Now, I will say Glamour Die. It is a color hacking card on target spell permanent. However, the card has to have the word white, red, blue, black, or green as far as like mana. For example, Grimoire of the Dead or Cage Sun. Cage Sun is more popular because when it comes into play, you choose a color, and say that someone says red, you could color hack it to blue or green. It's kind of cool, and it makes the other person pissed off if you really are into that sort of thing. This, for example, here is remove 3 study counters from the Grimoire of the Dead. Sacrifice, put all creatures from all graveyard on the battlefield under your control. They're black zombies in addition to their other colors and types. You can color hack that to make it be blue, purple, green, whatever the hell you want. Doesn't necessarily matter. It's just that Glamour Die and Grimoire of the Dead have a thing going on here. Maybe you get the idea as far as doing things a little different. So 5-color legendary, mono blue zombies. As I said, I believe I perfected it. I found a missing piece within the past week, It blew my mind when I realized it's actually so good, even though it helps other people out. It's amazing. I did blue-red slivers. I call it my Melic special deck. It is a prime example of how unique decks can take over 2 years to build. Again, these ideas are very wonky, very different, and they push commanders in different ways that no one really thinks about or ever tries to explore. Stuff like that is what I'm interested in, and I want to see how many other people out there who play Magic, specifically Commander, who are interested as well. I did basically a mono green Prowess deck, but, and I say that loosely because what she does is turn lands into creatures every time you target her with a spell. For most of y'all that remember, back in Theros block, they did a lot of red and white Prowess. Heroic. I keep forgetting that Heroic is the old Prowess. Yeah. So anyway, while you turn up to 3 target lands you control into 2/2 warrior creatures, remember they are colorless. So stuff like Intimidate will mess with you, but stuff like Protection from black or white will not mess with you, and you can actually block with your lands. Again, it's a little hard to say it's a mono green Prowess deck because the deck revolves around her specifically. Now, as far as Narset, everyone knows her for the most part. But I made it a little bit different, and I decided to go a little bit more random and do a Narset coin flip deck. Now, I won't go and I will not go into that video right now. I will do so later. And this is a lesser known commander, but still insanely fun when you pull off something like an Expedite targeting her and having like 10 other creatures on the field. Because you just turned a 50-cent card into a like $5 or $10 card just for being able to draw like 10, 11 cards off of one. She is underwhelming, but she's also extremely fun. Not very versatile, very one-sided, because if somebody prevents you from casting your command or turns into a tree or something like that, you're kind of out of luck there for however long she's out of play. And the star of the video, I'm going to say Pulse of the Grid. It is not only the star, but the card of the video as well. I honestly thought this was a piece of crap when I first saw this 3 or 4 years ago. Why? Because you draw 2 and then, you go right down to 1. Oh no, this card may go back to your hand. However, the purpose isn't to draw 1 or 2 more cards. The purpose is to trigger madness cards. And to possibly, and I say possibly, loosely, if you have something like, Sapphire Medallion, makes your stuff cost a little cheaper, or Cage Sun, it literally turns into tapping 1 island sideways to cast Pulse of the Grid and draw some good stuff potentially, and discard some things like Wander, Drown Your Temple, even Nagging Thoughts, which is surprisingly good. I replaced Nagging Thoughts with Treasure Cruise. That's how good this card is in this deck. Overall, Treasure Cruise is better than Nagging Thoughts because you're drawing 3 for potentially 1 mana. But early game, this card is much, much better than Treasure Cruise. Keteric Leviathan wants to be in your graveyard, and you can unearth him. Surprisingly, he also works with that new artifact that says creature of activated abilities of your creatures in the graveyard is 1 less. The one with Embalm, where you tap a zombie to mill a player for 1. That also works with Unearth. It works with the Stitchwing abilities. And yeah. Now, one other little card I would like to mention here, just before I end the video to prove my point is Mono Blue will never do reanimation, and also to drive that point home, Dreams of the Dead is the only Mono Blue reanimation card specifically for creatures. And if you're doing a Mono Blue deck, you have to color hack it. Kind of sucks. Yeah, I know. But Saprisen Bailoff comes in a close second. If you don't know it, I hope you will soon. Generally, it's going to help your opponents too. But if with within the right deck, like a deck that abuses Madness, where you just pitch your artifacts and enchantments because you know you'll get them back later, this card will be a lifesaver. You won't need to worry about stuff like trading posts to get back artifacts, and then not knowing what to do about getting that important enchantment like Rooftop Storm for a zombie deck. Because with this little guy, and he's a 2/2 Merfolk, you will get it back. Combined with other devious creatures, like, not sure where he's at here, but anyway, I was gonna say he's here somewhere. But basically, it's a zombie. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may discard all the cards from your hand to the graveyard, and if you do, you draw that many cards. It's Forgotten Creation. With that card and some other cards, basically, you're going to discard the cards in your hand, sack that little dude, get him back somehow, and then bam, you get back twice as many cards to your hand that you originally started out with. Ooh, a little sweetheart I picked up last week too. I've been trying to figure out how to build her because she seems really fun. And Karn. I have no idea how I want to build this deck. To be honest, I probably won't build this deck for a while, but it's pretty cool. And it's also foil. Well, that's it for the video. Just little teasers of what's to come. I would like to get your reactions, your ideas, whether you hate this, love this, or whatever. Just let me know in the comments below. Thank you.